Hello there, Steven here. So today we're going to be talking about the Floatwheel ADV 2.0. This has been just announced and I think the price is great and the performance is out of this world for anybody who's interested in the one wheel format. So just by looking at this chart, the ADV 2 is going to have a range of 40.5 miles and that is absolutely nuts. My Talaria e-bike doesn't even have this type of range. So that is an incredible range that they're going to be able to fit into this new board. And when it comes to wattage, this board is able to output 8100 watts of power. Before we get started, I've got an exciting giveaway for you. I'm giving away a $1,000 electric skateboard, a $500 e-scooter, and a full-face e-bike helmet. To enter, all you need to do is be subscribed to the channel and drop a comment below. Full details and entry instructions are in the comment section. Don't miss your chance to win. This is more than double of the GTS from Onewheel. And then when it comes to miles per hour, it's got the same top speed as the GTS at 25 miles per hour. And when it comes to torque, Newton meters of torque, it's able to output 52.7 Newton meters of torque. As compared to the ADV, it's probably like a small bump, but when you look at what's available for the GT and the GTS, this thing pretty much doubles the amount of torque. So what this means is that you're going to accelerate faster, you're going to get to that top speed a lot faster, and you're going to be able to tackle hills, uphills a lot better than, certain counterparts. So this entire package is going to be starting at $2149 with the standard rails, and if you want the advanced pro rails, I think it's $2200, about just $50 more. So pretty much this board that almost doubles in range, more than doubles in watts of power, and then almost doubles in Newton meters of torque, is only starting at $2149, which even undercuts the GT, the standard GT that's been out there for 2 years, by about $300. So this is pretty amazing. Let's highlight the details really quick about this release. So there are 8 upgrades. The first one is the ADV 500 controller. So basically it's an upgraded motor controller with double the current, double the amps capacity, and redesigned heatsink that guarantees no overheat at all. And then also there's an upgraded VSC Express to allow you to install SD cards to log your rides and then have faster connecting speed. There's also a smart BMS, which in my opinion is badly needed. I'm glad they're putting in the smart BMS. So basically the smart BMS now talks to the controller over the canvas and it shows battery cell levels and temperature in the VSC tool. This is the first ever smart BMS in VSC community. It's something that's really, really good because when I look at my electric skateboards, when I look at anything that has battery in it, one thing that catches on fire, one thing that causes fire is cell imbalance and continued usage of battery packs that has bad cells. This will allow you to monitor all the batteries in there to make sure the cells are well balanced so that the machine that you're riding is completely safe and won't burn your home down. This is incredibly critical, and I'm super glad that they're pioneering this and then putting this into the board. So supposedly they upgraded the motors to have N52 magnets, which offers 23% more power output and 10% more torque as compared to the Cannon Core V1. This is now the Cannon Core V2. The motors is now outputting 8 horsepower as opposed to the 6 horsepower before. So that's also really good. The range is 40.5 miles. That is outrageous for a compact balance board like this. This 40 miles is really, really a lot. Normally for me, even on a skateboard, 40 miles is kind of like my daily limit. I don't really want to go any further than that. So I think for 40 miles, this is like the most optimal spot, the most optimal spot, because I don't want to carry extra batteries to go further than that, but then it gives me enough range so that if I need to get to somewhere in time, I still have the capabilities to do so. The battery is now upgraded to Samsung 50S cells for 19% more range as compared to the ADV1. I never had a problem with ADV1's range, but just by switching cells and getting 19% more range is definitely good. It's definitely a welcome change. From what I'm seeing in the electric skateboard world, everybody is changing to Samsung 50S cells. The 50S offers a little bit less amps, but it does offer a little bit more range because its delivery of amps is more kind of curbed. It's still going to be able to deliver strong torque while kind of balancing that with range. So it's a great kind of balanced board. Next, what we have is a redesigned motor plug. The upgraded motor plug have more water resistance and more secure link. Yeah, for this one, I don't know because I never ride in water, so I don't really care about water resistance. It's a great thing for people who might be riding through places where there is water. Next is factory tuned. So basically, the board will be tuned, calibrated, configured when it leaves the factory. You don't have to do that anymore when you first receive the board. It took me about 2.5 hours to read through all the wikis and go through all the exercises to get everything tuned. The process was simple enough, but I think if they can get their employees to kind of save us on hours of time, especially for those who don't want to be spending all this time kind of configuring the board when they get there, this is definitely a plus. I think this will get more people on board because the DIY aspect of it was pushing a lot of people away, right? So I think this is definitely a very good thing. Next is comfy handle. Basically, they added rubber to the mag handle. I don't really care about this. I always carry the board with 2 hands. And then there's something called Race Ready. So you can add new coolant oil injection. So there's a new coolant oil injection port to easily inject ATF coolant oil into the hub motor for racing events and long hill climb. I don't even know what that is. To be honest, I really don't know what this is. I didn't even know that you can inject coolant oil into your hub motor. That is very, very cool. I'm ready to see what the community has to say about this, but I just think it sounds pretty cool. If you go on a race, you need to cool down your motor more, and you can easily inject coolant oil into your board, into your motor. That sounds pretty amazing. So yeah, this is a very welcomed upgrade. I think the original price of the ADV Pro was $1,800 and this is $2,200, so basically a $400 increase. With this $400 increase, you are getting an extra 6 miles of range, about 1,400 more watts of power as compared to the ADV1. Your top speed is increased to 25 miles per hour, and the torque is increased to 52.7. So without further ado, I have already checked out with the ADV2. This was unexpected, so I have to sell a couple skateboards to buy the ADV2, and I really like the first one, and I still have the first one, so I'm going to be doing comparisons as comparing the ADV1 to the ADV2. I think the difference will be sort of minimal, so if you have the ADV1, I really don't think it's something that you should run out there to kind of upgrade, but I think with the increased range, increased torque, and best of all, the smart BMS, so that I can actually monitor the battery health, is probably the most critical things that I like about this board, and why I want to buy it, right? And why I want to upgrade from ADV1. So if you subscribe and make a comment down below, you'll be entered to win a $1,000 electric skateboard, a $500 electric scooter, and a $200 e-bike helmet. The winner will be announced at the end of November. May the odds ever be in your favor. What do you think about the Floatwheel? Let me know down below.